Welcome to the game of Risk, everyone. I am your host, OliveXC. I am a top Grandmaster with over 1,000 hours of experience in this game. If you are enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Today, we are doing Tutor Tuesday, where we take a subscriber's game, analyze it, and help them and the viewers get better at the game of Risk. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing fellow YouTuber Risk player, The Controller. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I am Tim and I am the channel The Controller and started playing Risk about a month ago and have thoroughly enjoyed it and met up with Olive here and really good player. Just looking forward to his insight into this game that I posted.
Yeah, and what do you offer on your YouTube channel, just so everybody can see as I'll start up this game?
All right, yeah. So my channel, I like to just play any games that suit my fancy. I have primarily done Fallout 4 videos and challenge runs, but I also want to branch out just a little bit and do a few other games that spark my interest.
Yep, and we see the settings right here, by the way. It's a progressive game on Central America, fog off, blizzards off. Very kind of standard like a type game right here. And I remember in your submission, you wanted to do something very original. Well, fun fact: this is not original at all. This format has been done before between Curlza and the Kill Beat strategy.
You know, there's good to have multiple games of it so you can see different scenarios, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah, because like Curlza and Pete like are top grandmasters. Like, what is your rank on the ladder?
Currently, I am roughly 25,000 master level. Just reached that a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how much experience do you have in the game?
Well, for this particular game, it's been about a month. However, growing up, I played the board game and I had played a couple other PC games versions of it, but nothing quite like this one.
Yeah, it's definitely unique, but it's an amazing game with like the politics, the way that people like work together to get things done. And what's great about a progressive game like this is while the politics play like play a role for the very beginning part of the game, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind in order to go for the win, which is mainly to spread out and then kill people when it's worth it for their cards. So as we see the initial part of the game, we saw both the green players and the white player were just attacking a lot of territories aggressively, trying to get continents. What did you think about that when you saw this game?
Well, for one, I was just thinking with it being progressive, the green player attacking like crazy in the north there and in the actual like, Mexico region, that they were spreading themselves too thin in my mind. But
Yeah,
they have a lot of territories, so that could potentially garner them more troops in future turns too.
yep. That is exactly right. In progressive, you want to try just to take one card like per turn. If you take multiple territories, you're just going to weaken yourself and be unable to have a strong army to kill someone that's worth it for their cards. But now we saw the yellow player. They made two attacks, but they kind of grouped their armies together. So what do you think about that move?
I honestly I didn't notice exactly what all they did other than I thought maybe they just wanted to connect in there and make a single stack from their territories that have a 2 or a 3 stack on them.
Yep. So if you notice, they're kind of setting up two positions, right? One like in the bottom right, one in the top left. So the
Yes.
one thing I love doing at the beginning of a game is I like to analyze the strength of the players, and I like to try to anticipate and predict how they are doing. So I would put the green player and the white player as being weaker players, and I would put like the yellow and orange players as being like a slightly stronger. The other thing, so basically I would try to stay away from the white and yellow players as much as possible. Now, as we head into the next turn, like here, we see you placing your troops, trying to spread out like as much as you can. So Why? So what made you decide to place like in those positions?
Well, I originally kind of wanted to be in like 3 or 4 locations, and like the top right, my 2 stack, I figured that one would basically be lost right off the bat, so I didn't want to add to that. And I wanted to be on the west part of the map, and then I already had a decently strong position in the south there with that 4 stack. So I was
Yes.
just trying to make them all relatively equal sizing.
Yes. So when I was looking at this here, uh, I liked how you placed a little bit on that 5 in the upper left, and maybe a tiny bit like in the middle, but I didn't see anything in the bottom right. I think the bottom right's the most important position on the board for you because you're so far spread out and away from like the different players. Um, and you're close by all the other players, which is going to be critical for you to chain the pieces together. So the fact that you weren't putting anything there was I think a bit of a missed opportunity. The second thing is that you see that the green player was just attacking you like right there, right?
Right.
They're
They
they're
were
they're they're,
acting
they're a weaker
crazy.
player. They're going to do silly things. Ah, crazy green
Yep.
player, what up? So I would have just considered those places lost in the first place. But since I recognize that the orange player is probably a stronger player, I probably would have placed in the bottom right where your 4 is, and the 5 where like next to the orange 5, and just try to play like maybe like a 2 position game. Maybe eventually bring my 4 in the middle towards like my 5 on the right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I think that's like important to keep in mind, because even in progressive, while you can always kill players like for like their cards, and the game's going to generally end in 9 to 10 turns, like most of the time. Um, in the early games, and especially like on the ladder, when you play players on a wide variety of skill levels, politics like still plays a role. The majority of players in this game don't understand progressive and will play it like fixed, and you need to react accordingly to that once you see the overall player dynamics.
I was a little confused on, since red is a bot, for what style they are. I hadn't really seen, like, they're kind of continent based but not, so I didn't know
Yeah,
exactly what they were.
you bring up another great point. So if they're continental based, what continent do you think they would go for?
One which by green where I have my 3 stack.
Yep. So that's another reason why you should not have placed there, because if they're a continental bot, what are they going to do with that stack?
Just hit me till they get it.
Yes. You run away from the bots. Like, I would not have placed anything in the upper right, like at all, and we would have just considered that position lost. Because I wouldn't be like here. Yeah, they're just going for like another location at this time. But look, yeah, they're so close to taking the continent at this point, and very luckily they did not open up the green 6. Oh, by the way, do you know why it's bad that that green player left a 6 like that?
Well, they can't use it for anything.
Exactly. Exactly. So now you're placing troops down in the bottom right, which I really like a lot. Um, but then you're placing more troops in like the upper right there. So, because again, the bot can take that at any time, and that's just like potentially bleeding troops away from you a tiny bit. So when you're
Makes
playing
sense.
like all these positions right here, and you have a bunch of 4s everywhere, at some point someone may just like take like a 7 or like an 8 and hit your 4, and then you're suddenly losing a lot of positions. As players get weaker, I prefer to just have like a couple smaller, bigger positions, so that way I'm less likely to be bleeding out troops.
So instead of having, like, right now, I'm trying to maintain 4 positions.
I try to do 3 instead.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The other thing I'm looking at is a little bit of the player dynamics right here. So another thing that I saw in this game I wanted to talk to you about is like you see your 4 in the middle where the yellow 1, the orange 8 are located by.
Yes.
So what do you think the orange player is trying to do right now?
I didn't actually notice that they're staging to potentially take that continent there, because I saw the yellow in there too. So didn't want to go into the red bot, and I didn't know what else to do with that stack.
Yeah, it definitely was like a tough position to be in. Um, but the converse was probably like potentially like losing it. So I can see two things that you can do like in this scenario. One is you can just like consider the position lost and just try to attack like a once or twice. Like you can attack the red territory potentially like one turn, or maybe just attack like another orange like one turn and then a red territory, and that way if it's just a two left, you can then lose the position and not have like a significant loss. You got the value from it. But
Mhm.
by just keeping it like right there, even if the orange player is like an intermediate like level player of like some kind, like if they're treating it like a political type game like fixed, where they're saying, hey, I clearly want this continent, I want you to get out, um they would feel justified hitting you, saying, okay, I gave you the chance, you didn't get out here, and that's not good in anybody's interest at this time.
I know in this spot right here, I completely missed that orange consolidated and put all of their troops into that continent
Yep,
as
and
well.
now look, that bot's continental just slammed you.
Yep.
Yeah, this bot's crazy. Crazy bots. But we're not afraid of bots. So as we're seeing this like develop here, you're continuing to go all in on the upper right, but it's clear that green is just attacking like crazy. It is clear that you're just like not able to do much. I would just probably continue to place in the bottom right and like in the upper left, and just try to like survive, because like these players are crazy right now, and I would just want to consider that location lost, because the green player, if you notice, has made a lot of 2v1s and very risky 50% rolls.
Right.
Yeah. So do you know why doing those type of rolls are generally bad to do?
Since it's balanced blitz, it has worse odds, correct?
If the odds are below 50%, Balanced Blitz will punish you and have you get worse odds. If the odds are greater than 50%, Balanced Blitz will reward you. Also, the green player won't care about that and will just slam into you anyway.
Right. Because
So
I took one of their spots. Yep. So I'm
yeah, and
just
now look, they're
bleeding
just
troops
attacking
up
like
there.
they're attacking haphazardly, randomly. They have no semblance about what they're doing at all. And the best thing that like you can do like is just get away from them. Like the green player probably cost you about 4 to 5 troops at this time, and you never placed in the top right at all, recognizing that the green player was crazy and just focused on where you were strong, which is like the upper left and the bottom right. You would then be able to have, and maybe like if other players got confidence, the green player would just attack them. You can then just sit in the back, wait till like the sets get big, and then use your superior motor skills and knowledge of the game to sweep the whole board.
That makes sense. That has
Yes.
definitely been a challenging learning curve, trying to figure out exactly what tactic and style they play with, which green is quite haphazard and just very aggressive. And
Yes.
you can obviously see that, but I don't have enough skill right now, so I'm very thankful that you're able to point this out because it clicks a little bit more.
Yeah. When you hear that, what I find that the big difference between like master and grandmaster players is that master players, they know how to play the game. They understand the general flow. It just comes down a little bit to the overall the smaller things that really separate a master player from like the grandmasters, like understanding like board positioning, player dynamics, manipulating other players to work like for you. Fun fact, because I'm support in the main a Risk server where I'm like very active. A common thing I see all the time in the strategy chat or things are like newer players complaining about how grandmasters are cheating, or they're saying, why did I lose? The Grandmaster just had the novice team up with this novice, and they had him hit me, so I lost. And the answer is no. The Grandmaster player was not manipulating them or cheating. They just recognized early on that the novice was a novice, and there are ways that you can manipulate other players to work for you. So that, I think, is like the key thing, like to keep in mind. When you know how other players are reacting, you can take advantage of that. So, by the way, you got very, very lucky right here. The orange player
Definitely.
recognized that the green player was a threat and decided not to go for the continent, because the green player would have just hit them back and they knew they couldn't hold it. I would put... So what would you rank the orange player when you're thinking about this?
Well, just how they were initially playing too, I was figuring they were probably one of my better opponents this round.
Yeah. Because like if you look in yellow, they're pretty spread out. Like they're doing a pretty good job. Like they're not really like they did attack white, which was like a bad move, but they're still spread out like around the board in the best way that they could be. And then additionally, like I would put them probably like an intermediate, and I would put the orange player. I mean, just from like looking at this right now, I'll probably see the stats like at the end at like an intermediate to expert level, where they're still doing things like treating this like fix, attacking a lot, but they're understanding like overall player dynamics. Now, no set on 4.
Nope. Not like it matters since it's the first round, but I do
Yeah.
like the look just in case I get hit really hard.
Yeah. Now, you did something else, like right here, and you didn't break the bot's continent. You left like a big stack there. What was your thoughts behind that decision?
So right now I was seeing that white only had 9 troops. So I was trying to position myself to where I could potentially make a kill on them. And I didn't want to go into the red bot because I would just have to pull my troops back out. So I thought if I went down just one territory, I still might be able to loop through Florida there and get into the other part of white as well.
Yeah, and I think that's important. You recognizing that the white player is the weakest player, and that you can react accordingly to it to eventually take them out. So you identified them as your target, and you're well positioned to do it. Now, the only concern that I have is you're placing it right next to the bot. So do you know how bots react when they're next to big stacks?
I guess not, but I'm assuming they don't like it.
So the bot can do 2 things. The first thing is in the one territory near like the upper right, where there are 3 red and 2 green territories, I would expect the red bot to possibly take over that continent and hit the green player. But the other thing that bots love to do is to hit big stacks right next to them. There's a chance that the bot on their turn will decide to attack you.
Okay.
And if you lose like that stack, you'll suddenly become very, very weak, and that'll be very, very dangerous for you.
Then I'd be in the 2 positions that you said I should have been in to begin with.
Yeah, in the first place, because in the very middle of the board was very, very congested. You're surrounded by bots. In the upper right, the green player was just going to attack you, and the bot was going to attack you. On the top left, bottom right, you were going to be completely safe. Now, the bots normally trade in right away, and they got a lot of troops. Let's see if the bot trades in. They don't. You see right there, it just places 7. Like, you got lucky, it's not going into you, but like next turn, if the bot wanted to go for that continent on the left, you would be in a lot of trouble. So, and also, but you're right, it took that continent like I said it would. Yeah. Another nice thing for the audience members to see, you see how weak the green player is now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the initial strategy that the green player was doing of just trying to take a lot of territory right away, yeah, they just got a lot of troops, but eventually if other players just hit you because they become like worried about your actions, it's just going to weaken you significantly, and it's going to put you in a tough position. Yeah. Now I see you kind of like stopped here. So what was your reasoning behind like not finishing taking out attacking 2 more whites and just grouping your troops together?
Uh, the only thing I was thinking of was still I wanted a stack in the islands there to potentially take out those couple single whites, and then my 6 stack could address the 4. I was still planning on lining up the kill for white, and I wanted to get out of red bot's way.
Yep. I think that's like very, very fair because you don't want to like potentially bleed the troops in. So because you're still kind of positioned to eventually take out the white player, so that's going to be like good for you. Now at this point, the players are kind of trading in their cards. The green player is just attacking a lot, but as you kind of saw, they you're not I don't know why the green player is going this way, by the way, but they're just making no sense. They're clearly just attacking haphazardly. They're gonna do like another 2v1 for no reason, but they stopped because they left camera animations on. Turn off your camera animations, people. So since we kind of recognized here that the white player is going to be the weakest player, how would you want to try to take them out for their cards? Like, how would you envision doing it?
Right now I was figuring I would have to put a lot onto that 6 stack to attack all the way up into the Central America part, and then I'd have to stop where the yellow 6 is, and then I'd have to do a split
Yeah, a lot of
in the middle there.
splits,
So
so
it's
it
not
wouldn't
it's not
necessarily
very
be worth
ideal right
it.
now. Right.
Thankfully your 6 is well positioned to take out the 1. So now, yeah, the sets are getting bigger. Thankfully, the orange player I think is not well situated to take you out, but like you actually have the lowest number of troops right now. You're lucky that you get the biggest trade in because, again, I was just paying attention to the player dynamics. Yeah. Now it looks like the yellow player here is going for a continent. I originally pegged them as like one of the stronger players. Although again they attacked the white bot or like the white player.
I know at this point I was quite excited that they cleared out all of that white.
Yes. So now you're well positioned to potentially go for the kill right there. So you're almost like completely lined up for it. So my question to you is, as we wait for the orange player to do their turn, how come you decided to not go for the kill? Or let's wait for the orange player to go first. But like, do you think you should go for the kill? Is what I'll ask.
Yeah, right now I'm completely planning on going for the kill on white. I don't actually remember exactly what happened on it.
Yeah. So do you know the math about figuring out if it's worth taking out a player for their cards?
It's basically, well, I know I would get a set in turn forced trade in. So you want to always try to be net positive
Yep.
with the trade.
Yep. So what will your trade-in be?
Mine should be was it the 15?
Yes. Yep.
So then if I did a double trade, it'd be 15 and 20.
Yes. So given that you'll be doing a trade-in for a 20, what is the value of each card worth?
So that'd be just over 6 if they are able
Yes.
to.
You got unlucky right there though, losing that spot. So now you can't go
Oh
for the
yeah,
white
that's right.
kill. That
Yep.
was just unlucky that the bot decided to place there like that, but you really can't do much about that. So now we get, I think, to one of the most critical moments like of the game, where you can't kill the white player. So what? But like, because like again, you could have killed white if you didn't lose that 6, because you would have got essentially a value of like 3 cards of 20 troops, and they only had 15 or so. But now you can't kill them, right? It's too dangerous.
Right.
because you'd have to like attack through a 2, a 4 to get to a 12. It's not a guaranteed kill. Additionally, you'd be attacking about like 19 troops, and with a lot of risk involved. And now we get to think to the most critical moment of the game, or one of the most critical. You decide to stack there. Why do you decide to stack your 21 right there?
That is a good question. I was thinking I was wanting to pull both in, and I don't know if it was. I guess I don't know, because I was still planning on doing the white kill, so I'm not sure why I
Yeah,
stopped
because you
at
wanted to
that
group
point.
your troops together and have the
Right.
strongest possible army. However, I think you see where your white 1 is, or sorry, the black 1 is next to the red 2 of the bot.
Yes.
I think it would have been much better for you to leave it there.
And attack the other way with my 5 and connect in.
Yeah, connect in and go in that way, because then you have like a straight path to do it. The white player. The other thing I also would have done is I would have taken out the white position over there, because the yellow player, if they wanted to kill another player, they could have done it easily anyway.
Sure.
And then if they're just stuck in one position, they have to attack a 4 instead. And they can potentially get a lot weaker, and you can potentially take them out. So that's why like the value in math becomes worth it at that time. Instead, if you wanted to go for the kill, you have to attack 3 yellow 1s, a yellow 7, and a 12. You can't do it at that time. Now, you got very, very lucky with a set on 3, but you can't always hope to get lucky like that. Here's a question for you. Do you know how often you're going to have a set on 3?
I don't. I've always wondered that.
Yes. And so the answer is it depends on the map size. So do you know how many territories are on this map?
Not without doing a quick
A
count.
wiki search, it's around 44 to 48, I believe. So it's
Okay.
a relatively larger size, like a map, and it's around the medium size. So for a medium-sized map, around like the classic map, it's around 38%. The reason why we calculate this is that if there were no wild cards in the game, given that achieving 1 of each different card is around 33% of the time, it'd normally be 33. But since wild cards exist as part of the process, you in turn are able to add a couple percentage points, and that's how we come up with 38%.
Okay.
This is also available in the strategy section on the Discord. For around, if you add on like 4 cards, it's about 72%. But the thing is, we want to make decisions for ourselves where we want to maximize our chances. And by the way, this red player's bot's crazy. It just hit the white player like
And then
that.
it pulls back, so I have an easier line.
Yes. But so now you get the kill on the white player, and you can start potentially chaining these kills for the win. And now we get to the critical moment right here, right? So you decide to split, going off into 2 ways. So let's actually take a step back for a little bit, because you actually timed it perfectly. So you decide to do 14 here, and now 31 here, because now we're getting to the critical moment of the game, right? Why did you choose these 2 numbers?
Well, I was mainly the 14 was I was thinking that that was roughly what I would need to make sure I would get a pretty sound kill on the white player.
Yes, and you
And
got
then
massively unlucky, losing 4 on the 2, and you ended up having an 8v4. So that was probably like the safest number you could have done. And then then you have like your 31 right there. So
yes.
that actually worked out nicely. So now once you get the kill on the white player, now we have to see what do you want to do next.
Yeah, so I was thinking green was pretty weak too, and they were chaotic. So I was hoping that I was going to be able to eliminate both of them, so I'd be
Yep.
able to get a trade in
Excellent. And then you can
turn.
do a double trade-in, right? So
Yes.
that's very good. And what's kind of nice, like as well, is because like again, the mistake that you made before, like fortifying like there, like it kind of left you open to be able to attack. But again, like you had to set on 3, and the red bot had to suicide into the white player to give you
Yeah, I
like
had
this
to get
chance.
lucky.
You
Yep.
got lucky right there. But hey, sometimes but you gotta be better lucky than good.
That's right.
Yeah. But like the thing is, like if you were able to like take out the white player without initial cards, then turn in the set of the 20, you would have been able to kill the green player regardless. So that would have eliminated like your luck because you would have had enough anyway to do it. So now you're going for the kill here, and now we get to like think the key kind of learning moment of the game right here, which is, oh my gosh, I just chained 2 kills together, and I just got a double kill of a 25 and the 30. So I watch this because I prepare for these videos because I love doing this type of stuff. But what should you do now?
Honestly, I should have planned a little bit better and gone for the kill on yellow, I think, because I'm pretty well lined up for it right now.
Yeah, you can kill anybody right now that you like want to do. You can kill like the red player because they're the lowest number of cards. You can attack like the players first because like they're more dangerous. You can do like anything that you want, and also you have 68 troops. You're very close to a nice number. Those
Just one
jokes don't stop
shy.
getting funny. The majority of my audience is 25 to 35 and male, so I can do these comments now. YouTube demographics for the win! But yeah, in all seriousness, we see what's kind of happening here, right? You start to attack orange, and now they're crying. It's like, oh, you're going to kill orange. Now you're attacking in a line here. So you're continuing to attack orange, but then you recognize, oh wait, orange is located in the lower right-hand side, and you can't access them because your 4 is in the way.
Right.
Yep. So now you're running out of troops. So now you're just trying to kill yellow fast enough, but again, like you don't have enough troops. You just hit both of them, and now they're both. Oh, wait, and now you have enough, but you recognize you can go there because you don't remember the
Yeah.
pathing. But now they're both
Yep.
alive and they hate you.
Yes, and they have 4
They're,
cards apiece.
yeah, so they can easily slam into you. If the yellow player was good right here, they would just take out the orange player right now, then chain in, take out the red player, and then kill you.
Did they end up botting out right here? I
Yes, because
can't.
I thought the game was over, and they didn't. No, they didn't bot out. They were just attacking the red
Okay.
player, and they left their camera animations on. So for that reason, like they're trying their best. They're trying to take out the red player. They recognize it. Like the yellow player, I thought was like a good player. They just lack the mechanics of what's necessary in order to win at these type of games. And like now they give up because they're like, oh, I can't attack fast enough. I just lose. The black player's probably cheating because they attack too fast. Then they complain, uninstall, and hate their life when it's like, no, just subscribe to Olive and Tutor Tuesdays. And now you get to the orange player, and they can do a lot of things towards you. Again, they should be
Right.
taking out the red player right now. And they are, but they have camera animations on as well. So they can't kill you. As long as you get a set, you can attack faster than them and overwhelm them. But as you can see, like right here, the key lesson is when you're chaining your kills, you don't want to do too much. You need to quickly scan the board, identify the area of where like the players are located, place the minimum amount to go in like for the kill, and then place it like from there. So in this case, like you were just trying to do like kind of too much, and it just kind of led to this situation. Like you're still going to win because the other players just are not attacking a lot. But as you play in more tournament-style games against other top players, you're gonna have to assume that they have the capabilities to go for these kills.
Yeah, because basically this player should have been able to just
Yeah, they
wipe
should
me
have
clean
sweeped
out right now.
everything, and then they
Yeah.
should have hit you all around the board, let you basically get 3 cards, and then proceeded to kill you. Instead, you
Yep.
can just kill the yellow player now. Like you can do like almost anything you want. But you won this game because your opponents were making mistakes that were greater than your mistakes. And I think that's like the biggest thing right there. Look, now you get a forced trade-in. You get 50 troops. And now you can just clean up because you have the attacker's advantage. So like you get the win right here. But the reason why you got the win was because of the mistakes of your opponents. And yeah, and then here you make a very small pathing mistake. You could have, so you had to put back 3, but it doesn't matter at this point. You're just cleaning up. And the controller gets the win. Let's go, controller! Yeah. Yeah, but I think this was a great game right here. So just kind of summarize the key things to keep in mind is 1, recognize early player dynamics and try to predict what their skill level is so you can react accordingly to it. And you can see right here, just pausing for a second, white was the novice, then you had like a, yeah, and then like and then 2 beginners and 2, and then a beginner and 2 intermediate. So a pretty like kind of like weaker lobby right here.
Right.
And you're able to get the win like as expected because the other players were just making the mistakes.
Which is kind of what you expected, I think, from was it the orange player being an intermediate?
Yeah,
So
yeah, like
good
they're
call
doing a
on that
couple of
one.
things right where they're starting to learn about the game, but their mechanics just aren't there yet. And here we can see like your stats. You got a nice little win. You're lowered toast and you're toasting to your victory. Yeah, and then you got like your hours in, so you're still kind of learning a lot right now. But like overall, it's a like a pretty good game. So just always remember, like, again, the player dynamics. Stay away from the bad players. Make them attack like each other. Identify early on where you want to keep your armies. Being aware of bot dynamics and player dynamics. And always think about who am I going to go for the kill and how do I want to do it. That fortification to the middle of the board, put that your black 21. Excuse me. And I'll just go back to here because this was like I think the cream moment of the game where this 21 is. If you had just left that like at the bottom, it would have been 100% guaranteed like chain kill. Then you put the 20 in and you kill the other green player with very high certainty. But like instead, like you had to get lucky, get a set on 3 and be able to chain in the kill like that way. And then finally, when going forward a little bit more to this point, like right here, uh, instead of you always want to be aware of the positions and be ready to chain the kills in quickly. This just takes practice and experience. It took me about like 30 games of progressive against Grandmaster players before I started getting it. It doesn't come easy, but with anything in life, it's just about practice. But whoever you go for, you just want to be consistent with it, and then try to be like a decisive.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get in a position where you're just missing, and they all make the laughy face.
Right. And then at this point, I should have lost the game anyway,
Yes,
too.
but then the players were weaker, so you were able to capitalize. But this was an excellent game, controller. I wish you nothing but the best of luck with you in your journey to improve at this game. And I hope everyone in the audience here learned a couple of things about progressive, about player dynamics and bots, and how to chain those kills for the win. If you enjoy this content, again, I encourage you like a subscribe and let me know in the contents what I can be doing better. And again, thank you so much to the controller for sending me this video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. This is OliveXC signing out.